Children. New doors in on the patio, steps are up. We got to frame out the interior of the door. So we got to make some jamb extensions, make a threshold, and I'll have to go get some trim and paint it. But let's do the threshold. Now we got this old piece of oak. We're going to glue this down on it to make a little lip or a ledge. And I'll explain why later, but basically this is going to be the part. This is going to be the bottom. So actually, let's flip it over this way so I don't have to sand all this little stain off of there. Glue should still stick. All right, so this will be the bottom, and this is going to sit right here on the 2x material that's underneath the door, which is slightly higher than the flooring. So we got to make this little lip here, but I'll show you later to make more sense. This is not structural glue, but I don't need it to be. I just need it to be done quick. And I need it to hold long enough for me to put it onto the floor. And it'll do just that. Just that, children. Setting these back a little bit from the front. So I don't want to hit them with a router. Still a little bit more of a step than I would like, but that's good. It'll work. Filled in some holes here because we're reusing old oak. There's some nail holes in it. Sanded it down just roughly. This thing's going on the floor. It's threshold, so who cares? People are going to step all over this. I got this gray stain that I've used on some other trim for the floor in the house. Matches well with the random colors in the flooring, so we're going to paint this, put this on there, and then we'll go hang all this up. Why am I doing this? Well, I don't really like the look of bare wood or just regular stained wood in a house. I think it's really dated. But oak has a couple of really important qualities considering this project. Well, one of them is it wears good. It's going to stand up for a while to being tread on and dropped on and whatever. Equally as important is I had this just laying around. I got a lot of this random oak laying around. So it's free, which is very important. Because when it comes to a threshold that you're going to step all over, there's no sense in going out and spending money on a brand new piece of, 5/4 board of oak to just lay in the floor. I used to do that. I've definitely taken that approach with other projects in the house. And then I learned with two 11-year-olds, two dogs, and a cat, it's all for naught. This thing's going to get stepped on, scratched, smashed, dinged, scraped, possibly set on fire. Don't spend a bunch of money on a piece of wood that's going to do that. It's ridiculous. Let's look at old Zeke here. All right, kids, we're switching over to some voiceover because I had COVID when I filmed this and couldn't talk worth a crap. So this is a 2x material I mentioned earlier, and it's the reason we put this little lip on the bottom to make up the height difference. So we're going to put down some construction adhesive here, little liquid nails, then we'll tap it into place, secure it in with a few trim nails. Alright, so that's down, and now we're going to put up the jamb extensions. Start with the top is generally how I do it, make sure it's good and level. We didn't really need to shim anything here because the door jamb itself is pretty square and level. Worked out good. So I'm having to adjust my depth settings on these. I still had to go back and drive some of these in with a nail set by hand, but worked out alright. So we'll get these jamb extensions up, and then we'll talk about doing the reveal here in just a minute. And these jamb extensions are just some 3/4 inch thick pre-primed pine wood that I bought at Lowe's and just ripped down to width. So nothing special there. So what is a reveal? Well, you want to set your door or window trim back about 1/8 of an inch or so from the edge of the inside edge of your jamb extensions. So you can see we're setting our depth to about 1/8 of an inch here. Now I did a really bad job setting up the camera here to try to show you what I'm doing. But basically I'm using my square set at 1/8 to draw a line down the front face of each jamb extension, 1/8 of an inch from the interior edge of it. And that's where I'm going to line up my casing, the door trim itself. So you line it up with that reveal, and you're going to do this down the sides and the top so that you have a consistent reveal all the way around. So this excellent view of the back of my arm and shoulder is going to perfectly demonstrate exactly how you're going to do that. Yeah, just like that. Very nice. So we're going to do it across the top as well. And then we'll come in with our trim, mark for our cuts, cut those out. My threshold in this instance stuck out a little bit. Wasn't exactly plumb with the wall, so we had to cut around it a little bit on the casing. But it worked out nice. Alright, so we made our cuts, and we're just lining our casing up with the reveal marks we made earlier, throwing a bunch of nails in them. Use as many nails as you need to hold these in place. You come back in, cover those up with touch-up pen, clay pencil, whatever. But yeah, get them on there secure. That's all you need to worry about. All right, it's trimmed out. Nail holes are filled in. Zeke is still annoyed that he's not allowed inside to pee on everything. All right, kids. We got to cover these outlets. That is dangerous.